Greetings, it is I, Dreadscape Gaming, and the harbinger of destruction, the abysmal dragon himself. How are all of you doing today, Dreadknights? We're going to be playing Diablo 4, because yesterday I tried to do a Diablo 4 stream, and it didn't go very well. It was a little bit scuff, and by a little bit scuff, I mean it was a lot scuff. It was weird, I don't know what happened, I'm not sure if it was server issues or ISP. Today we're good. I triple and quadruple check. We're good to go, which is great to hear. Peak, I was originally going to play today, but I loaded into the map to practice a solo run, and it was like some of the worst map rotations you could possibly get for a solo run. And Dread kind of needs to chill and relax, because this week, as I've mentioned it, it's been hectic. There's a lot of stuff happening Friday for the weekend, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. Big stuff, big stuff. So let's play. I'm going to be playing Apocalypse Warlock build. It is pretty busted. Anybody who caught the Gorilla stream yesterday kind of saw some of the results of it. I am going to bump it down a little bit, though, because Torment 10 we can kind of do, but we can't do it super comfortably yet. I feel like we need to get to at least Paragon 250. I have all the way up to Torment 11 unlocked, but since we're died quite a bit and we're not, like, I guess super tanky just yet, it's probably better to do Torment 9. Just so we can play on it like a decent, you know, difficulty level. This is one of the few times today where, like, if people want to play, they can. It's fine. I don't mind it. It'll probably make some of the level up experience go a little bit more smooth. We're going to be doing war plans, as well as I'm going to be jumping around doing boss farming and stuff. All the usual things that you do in endgame for Diablo 4. Alright, so we're going to take a... We're at the top of the hour, correct? Yes, we are. So we're going to take a Helltide, because they start at the top of the hour. We're going to take some pits, because I have to upgrade glyphs. We're going to go for Undario, even though that might be challenging to do. We're going to do another Helltide Harvest. And then, although the Purge Karas is tempting, I hate Undercity runs. I've mentioned this so many times on stream. Of all the endgame mechanics that are available in Diablo 4, Undercity runs by yourself are like the most annoying thing to potentially do in this game. So whenever we can, we just try to avoid it. So here, the plan is we just go for Gift of Protections really quickly, so we can open 2 quick chests. It's all about farming in fast, efficient run Dreadknights. We're going for speed and efficiency with all the stuff that we're doing today. We get to 100 stacks, and then we go kaboom. And basically we're just going to profit here and kaboom as much as possible. The one thing too is, like, at this difficulty level, one of the annoying things, I mean very minor, is the fact that because you're constantly casting spells, you can't really see where half the stuff is being casted. So sometimes, like, you'll run into, like, a poison pool, or you'll run into an AoE that's just gonna, like, one-shot you, which is just, like, not very optimal. I'm hoping, because people have mentioned this to Blizzard, and I think Blizzard, for the most part, the devs have been listening very well lately in regards to Diablo 4 community. I feel like we do need some type of filter to be able to see what actual things are in the ground, particularly for the Warlock. Because the Warlock doesn't feel like, you know, if I'm exploding a bunch of things, case in point, that's like a one-hit kill. But it gets mixed in with, like, the Apocalypse, so you never know. Alright, let's open this. We're gonna get a Gift of Handguards. How's everybody doing? Doing very well. I'm gonna be having Chipotle for dinner, because I don't have, honestly, time to cook. Because of everything that's going on. On top of not having time to cook, I just kind of really was in the mood for Mexican food. And I was like, you know, Taco Bell's usually my go-to food, but lately, like, the Taco Bell in my area is just, like, terrible. It's been terrible, like, in terms of fast food. Like, it's a lot of money. Like, Taco Bell in my area is, like, $30 to $40 if you want, like, a good whole of Taco Bell. So I just kind of, like, have been avoiding it. And, you know, because for the same price, you could get, like, Chipotle. And Chipotle's at least better-ish, you know? There's that joke from Family Guy, when there's, between good and poop, there's Chipotle. That's honestly kind of the case. There's also, like, this other place I've been dying to try, but I think they even got rid of it. It was like Kodabo or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let's hope I can open this chest. That's not a Gift of Protection. Where's the closest Gift of Protection? Over here. Okay, great. Happy accident. Let me avoid some of the stuff. The Never Step here is just basically on the build to try to get you away from potential one-shots whenever possible. The only problem is, obviously, I don't really want to waste that Apocalypse here, but we might as well, just to kind of nuke any threats that are potentially coming our way. You know, I'm gonna put out probably a build for this. The problem is this is not like a starter build. This is like what's considered an actual full endgame build. Where is the thing to jump across? Oh, it's that way. It didn't look like that. The horse actually was able to jump for the distance. That's the only time I've ever seen the horse in this game actually do it. Not that I'm complaining. Alright, just in case. Just because I don't want something to kind of get in the way of the chest here. We'll open that. Sweet, nice. Good rotation there. Alright, let's take care of these enemies. We can go to the next objective for the war plan, but I do want to take a couple of these things out. I'm Paragon 232 right now, so there's a lot of people who are like, no lifer, you've been playing non-stop. No, I haven't actually. If I had been playing non-stop, I would be like at Paragon 300 probably. Unfortunately, I haven't had as much time to grind in this game lately, because I'm just busy with projects, right? Like, I know a lot of people think that I just like play the same game all the time, but that's actually not the case. Like, a lot of stuff today that I was doing back-end wise was like pre-planning for stuff. I had a couple of things in regards to like meetings and planning and talking to people in regards to like upcoming collaborative efforts that are going on. So, you know, a lot of fun stuff, you know, a lot of business today. Nothing, very little gaming. I think the most that I did was I kind of logged in to VR chat for a bit because I needed to kind of get a couple extra hours so I could upload like my VTuber model into VR chat, because I still can't do it because I'm still considered a visitor rank. I have like at least 10 hours on the game, but I was doing something that you need at least 12 to 24 unless you buy like the VR chat plus, but I don't even know if that's actually confirmed that you'll get it at that, you know, so that's why I kind of hold off on that, because I, you know, VR chat's like one of those games that I just want to use for some fun stuff in terms of VTubing, but it's not something that I would really play a lot. Like, for example, today, I was just visiting worlds, just because I'm trying to obviously get out of the visitor rank. I went to a couple of VR chat worlds, and the first thing that I was greeted by was the male anatomy, pictures of the male anatomy. Like, people were drawing in the worlds, and they, I guess, left the world, but left a whole bunch of, you know, male Johnsons, to say the very least, which was kind of gross. You know, so VR chat is like one of those things. I want to do like a VR chat stream, and like a goal would be to play VR chat with like viewers, but I'm so concerned because we don't know how to filter out who's going to be the good apples and the bad apples for that. So I would have to wait and do it like with really trusted people, which I think is probably the best way to do VR chat. I like the concept of VR chat, don't get me wrong, but I feel like, hold that for, I don't want to get killed by those meteors, because dying in this game is bad. I can do all the way up to tournament 11, I'm just choosing not to at the moment. Get rid of that. Nuke everything. Obliterate everything like Exodia here. Okay, great. Good rotation there. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna go back to base, and then we'll just go do the next part of the war plans. Because it seems like ideally right now that's not the best thing to do. You know, staying there would probably be a bad idea. Oh, we could just go here because there's a pit area. See, I've done all the way up to tier 95, which is like tournament 11 plus. But we can't do it like super comfortably right now because our glyphs aren't like fully upgraded. So I'm gonna go back to tournament 9 and upgrade stuff because I need like most of my gems and glyphs to be level 50 to be able to do. On top of that, I forgot to mention this, but Blizzard's concurrently running an event in Diablo 4. So there's like, you get double cachets of Tree of Whispers, which are kind of nice because if you have stuff in your war plan setup, you get like already experienced spears. So there's a chance to get like more experienced spears. I was kind of hoping we were going to get a Mother's Blessing event, but that was unfortunately not to be the case, Dreadknights. I guess maybe they'll wait till later on in the season, because the reason they're running it too is because there's like Memorial Day is coming up. Dread doesn't really have particularly too many plans for Memorial Day that I can actually talk about on stream, because I do have to kind of keep a little bit of semblance of, a little bit of nuances. I can't talk about everything that I would like to talk about. And, you know, back in the past, I was a little bit more free to talk about stuff that's, like, going on project-wise and stuff, really. But I can't anymore. You know? The game has changed, so to speak. Not the game I'm playing, but the VTuber stuff that I'm doing now. So I have to think more corporate, like, I guess is the best way to put it. So as much as, like, there's a lot of things that I wanted to kind of like address before Friday, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to, unfortunately. It doesn't seem like it's in the cards, which is always the case, because Friday's announcement's pretty big. It's pretty monumental. A lot of work went into it, a lot of blood, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. And it's just like the very beginning of something much more grand, much more bigger. Like I said before, I really wanted to focus on giving a lot of people who never had opportunities or never had like a group of people that they could work with, like an actual way and platform to do that. Like that was the major thing that I wanted to do. Kaboom. Katie Kaboom here, you could say. I talked about this yesterday. I'm like a really big fan of like old school animated stuff. So in particular, like what I really like is like Animaniacs, Freakazoid, old school Cartoon Network too. Like Powerpuff Girls was a great show. Like the original Powerpuff Girls, not the like remake thing that they did, which it wasn't bad, but it didn't live up to the standard of like old school Powerpuff Girls, in my opinion. You know, whenever they do resurrect shows, like old school shows that are like animated shows, you always run the risk, potentially, of them, I don't want to say jumping the shark, but like, you know, just revisiting plots and stuff and not like really what's the best way to put it? Reinventing themselves in terms of storyline, so you're just watching the same things again. But regular show, The Lost Tapes, did a good job of just like picking it back up where it left off and still being witty and funny and relevant. Like I feel like of all the new stuff that Cartoon Network has done to like bring back shows, regular show The Lost Tapes is probably their best example of it. Because obviously there's the Fiona and Cake stuff from Adventure Time, and it's not bad, but it's not great, right? It just kind of feels like a bit more of a rehash of Adventure Time, when I think a lot of people would have probably preferred just somehow to have like an extension of Adventure Time and to continue like real stories with Finn and Jake. So, you know, I feel like Fiona and Cake was kind of an example of it not being like a great idea to resurrect certain shows. Like, I would personally love to, but I don't think he would ever come back to it because he's busy with Primal right now. But I would love for the creator of Dexter's Laboratory to come back and just do like a new season of Dexter's Laboratory, because I feel like that's a show that is worth revisiting. I would love to see Courage the Cowardly Dog come back too, because Courage the Cowardly Dog is like such an underrated show too. And it's such a dark show when you think about it and you watch it like now in this day and age. You start thinking about it and you're like, wow, this show is not really for kids. Like the same thing even with like Dexter's Laboratory, it's like a kid's show, but they were able to put like some really adult subject matter into that. That's the thing that I love about like old school Cartoon Network, and that's I think the thing that works kind of well for shows like regular shows, particularly like even in its original run, that they could get away with stuff like saying lady pecs, like I want to touch some lady pecs, like that type of stuff you wouldn't be able to get away with usually in like old school Cartoon Network. I mean, like, look at a show too, like for example Cow and Chicken. I didn't particularly like that show, but my niece loves it. Like my niece would watch it like in syndication and stuff, and she adored Cow and Chicken. But I've watched like a couple of episodes with her because, you know, I'm a pretty good uncle, right? I'm not trying to toot my horn and stuff. And the thing about it is, like, I'm watching these episodes of Cow and Chicken, I'm like, how did they get away with this in standards and practices for Cartoon Network back in the day? Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is some serious stuff that they were talking about in subject matter. This is kind of funny. We're going to upgrade this glyph, because I need it to get to level 50. I want it. Okay, we're going to upgrade this one next, because that's the next target. No, this actually wasn't the one I'm going after. Next one should be these two. We wasted one, it's okay. We're gonna be doing a whole bunch of runs anyway. Who dares challenge the great and powerful Dreadscape Gaming? So yeah, you know, with classic Cartoon Network, I'm happy that regular show The Lost Tapes is going pretty well. Like, because Cartoon Network 2 has, like, tried to bring back our shows, too, in the past. Like, they tried to bring back Thundercats, and they did, like, an okay job with, like, the Thundercats remake. And then they canceled the show. You know why? Because it didn't sell enough toys. And that's kind of the problem with, like, children cartoons, which we don't really see too many of them in this day and age, unless it's, like, on the Disney Channel, or it's, like, something that's on the internet, or it's, like, very, very Nick Jr.-ish type shows, or preschool-related ones, is that, like, nowadays, if your cartoon doesn't sell a whole bunch of toys or a whole bunch of merchandise, it doesn't get renewed. So what ended up happening with the Thundercats remake, which I thought the first season was pretty decent, it was pretty well made, and this is also the same thing that happened with like the He-Man remake that they did on Cartoon Network a couple of years back. They didn't do well in toy sales, so since they didn't sell any toys, they got canceled. So it was all about the merchandise, all about the merchandise. So when you think about, like, back in the day, that was kind of the case too. Like, I don't know how many people here probably would be familiar with, like, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from way back in the day, but that show was honestly only made and only adapted from the comic books just to sell the toy line, because they thought it was marketable for a toy line and they sold it. What ended up happening... Oh, we're playing against her. I forgot this was a boss rush. Back in the day, that was all it was to sell, like, toys. And when the toy sales actually started to dip, as well as the writing for it got pretty bad too, because I gotta be honest, it wasn't good writing. Why are you so tanky, Ondario? Okay, it's fine. We can out-tank her anyway. We're better at tanking. Okay, gets 100 stacks. Snooker. Alright, good. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Huzzah. But yeah, like, back in the day, Ninja Turtles action figures after, like, Season 8 or 9. I think it was Season 8, because Season 8 is when they moved from... I think it was Channel 4 to then Channel 2, where they went to, like, Channel 2, at least in my area. Oh, Belial came to challenge us, the Lord of Lies. Alright, didn't you see what I did to your friend? Square up. We shouldn't talk too much trash against him, because he actually does poison damage. Which I don't like poison damage on this build, particularly, because I don't have my poison resistances up too much. We killed him. Okay. Let's go. We have so much loot here. Look at all this loot, bros. Great and powerful Dreadscape Gaming conquers all. You gotta get... I don't want to do that again. Yeah, but like Ninja Turtles toy line, and then they moved it over like CVS and stuff. It was fascinating sometimes what they do. I have so much loot that I have to pick up, but I have to go back to base and get rid of a lot of it. You know, so it's truly fascinating, at least in that retrospect. You know, how much toy sales and merchandise dictates stuff too. It's a lot like that too, honestly, in this day and age with like VTuber stuff too. Because Dread knows a thing or two about like the VTuber business, and you know, like merch sales are kind of important to stuff. Besides merch sales, you know, obviously are things, voice packs and stuff, and you know, I think a lot of us have already heard about a certain group that got a little bit defunded because they weren't pulling in as much numbers, which I don't personally agree with. I don't think it's very fair, but you know, I don't have any say in that matter. And it's kind of unfortunate. I feel like it's not fair to those individuals that have been working their hardest and their tail off for that type of stuff.
I can break that down.
You know, but it's like that with a lot of things too. Like, you know, even in film and television, particularly more so film, like if your film doesn't do well at the box office, if it doesn't do well in the digital markets, if it doesn't do well in like, you know, sales and pre-sales, you don't get renewed for another sequel if it like has a sequel coming to it and stuff. Like, even if you've noticed, like stuff with the Avengers and Marvel in particular, Marvel, particularly Disney, started to scale back on the Marvel releases, and the reason for that was because people stopped watching like all those Marvel shows that they were putting out on Disney Plus. I suspect when people stopped watching, I'm trying to get the helm, but I think the helm is kind of blocked off. Let's see here. Let's see if there's a duplicate. I'm just gonna drop it on the ground. Anything that's a duplicate of something. Beru, Linta, Moor. We'll drop one of the Moors. Pick it up. Unique charms are hard to get in this game, so whenever you can get them, you want to pick them up. Soulbrand. Okay, we'll take it. I can't pick up the helm, so it's fine. Go back to base. So, you know, it's kind of unfortunate in that retrospect too. You'd be surprised how much merchandise sales in just about every type of facet really affects whether stuff continues. And you know, I've seen a lot of VTuber stuff even get shut down because merch sales just weren't there. It's a shame, you know, too. Like, you know, I don't go up to bat for people a lot, but I always say It kind of really sucks what happened to Hollow Stars. You know, I don't feel like the stuff that's happening with the guys is fair to them. I understand it's a business and businesses are in the business of making money. But at the same time, like, I felt a certain way about, like, the announcement of Mech Park. Like, you defund Hollow Stars and then Mech Park gets announced. And then it's just like, and even that, the way, like, that's structured has me just kind of like, ugh. You know? It's not necessarily the best look. Just because of how, like, it's going to be structured and, like, you're dangling carrots in front of people. And it's like, well, if you don't do well, you don't even get to debut. You know, I don't think it's a good idea, in my opinion, but I'm not the one that makes the rules at that company. I don't have any say in that matter, you know, I'm just from outsider looking in. I don't think it's a good look to take away funding from Hollow Stars to then basically give funding to another project where you're dangling, you know, like, I don't know, it just left me with a, not with the best impression. But again, I don't make rules like that, you know, it's like, I just think it kind of sucks for the guys. Especially, you know, it's just like that, like, announcement of, like, funds being decreased and stuff happens, and then you have, like, the announcement of Mech Park, like, almost immediately afterwards, and, like, you know? It would make, like, if I were a talent there, I would kind of feel a bit upset about that, you know? Because it'd be like, well, you know? Do you really even value us? Probably not. Like, you know, I would be kind of upset about that. Like, that's the thing too. Like with VTubing too, it's like it's a rough business sometimes. It's like I've seen stuff happen in my days. 6 years of VTubing, and I've seen just about a lot of stuff. I've seen companies implode. I've seen friendship groups break up. I've seen friends break up. It's just like, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just be like. It's a crazy, crazy industry sometimes. Which I think is why it's so important for us as, like, indie VTubers and people that are working on, like, new projects and stuff to try to create alternatives and to be better and to not make the same mistakes that our predecessors had made, to hopefully make, like, the VTubing community fun and enjoyable for everybody, basically. You know? That's how I always look at it. That's kind of what I'm concurrently doing with some stuff. I'm trying to make things better for the indie scene in particular. Because, you know, without that indie scene, you're not going to have a lot of rare VTubers that can then go on to do corporate stuff. There was like an interesting thing that I was watching on the internet too. Like, for example, I saw like a clip from Giga. Now, keep in mind, I'm not like super familiar with Giga's content. I actually don't know them really at all. I think I've maybe seen one clip prior to this one, and I think it was like kind of taken out of context. And that's a problem with like VTuber clips. That's why I always take them kind of with like a grain of salt. Because the thing is, like, when people clip like VTuber clips, they always like take certain statements and they plug them in and they turn them like out of context. Like, for example, like the stuff I just talked about, somebody will most likely clip it and then be like, Dread said this, when Dread, and, you know, just take like a part of something I said as opposed to like the whole thing in total. And that's the thing, man, you know, like in total, like, you know, so I was watching it, but it was like an interesting theory about VTuber kind of reaching its heyday right now, right? And I do think to a certain extent there is some truth to it. Like, if you look at stuff that's been happening just in general on YouTube across the board, every content creator on YouTube, and it's not just simply restricted to like people who've been on the platform a long time, but even, you know, not like only VTubers, let me preface this, but also, why can't I pick any of this stuff up? Okay, never mind. We need to open, no more, we go to the pit. Okay, so let's go back. We open this just pretty quickly. But it's not something that's like simply just restricted to VTubing. Like, people on YouTube, a lot of their stuff is like, I didn't even teleport there. Did I get hit by something? Look like I did. A lot of people's stuff, like on YouTube in general, not just VTubing, excuse me, I know I was, because I broke my train of thought, has been kind of down in numbers overall in general. Regular VTubers, that's why you see a lot of VTubers that are bowing out. A lot of VTubers who had, like, much bigger numbers lately have been doing less numbers. Even Dread had bigger numbers on stuff, particularly, like, with streams for a while, and then things started to change. I don't know if it's, like, algorithm or just, you know, VTubing in general is kind of like a fad that maybe might be dying out. Who knows? It's hard to say. I don't think so necessarily. I just think there's just like a lot of, you know, so Giga was pointing out potentially like oversaturation. I think to a point she's correct. I don't think she's wrong necessarily. I can't use this. This is an upgrade to what I have. It is not. I don't know if I have an ancestral of that anyway though, so I probably put it on the box just for safekeeping. Where is it? Where's my box? Isn't it, like, supposed to be right here? My box gone? Okay, that's weird. Oh, the box is over here. Oh, I'm in a different area. I'm not in... Oh, I'm a dum-dum. Look at this. I went to a completely different area, or they moved the box maybe in the update. I think they moved the box in the update. That's new, because the box was somewhere else before. Okay. That's fine. I'm not gonna hate on that. Unique amulet. Get rid of that. Hold on to that, because I want to turn that into a charm if possible. But I think I need 3 of those to do that. Godslayer crown. It's a regular unique. I don't really need a regular unique. That's crazy. They put the box over here. That box was not there. I'm not gaslighting myself. It's never been there before. They even moved, like, the merchant around. I guess they didn't want so much clutter here because people used to clutter this area so much. So they just moved the box over here. That's fascinating. They changed the whole map area. I didn't even realize that until now. So they did do something significant in the update. They kind of made the area a little bit less cluttered. Just fine. We're doing a pit run. Okay, so it's going to do another Torment 9 so we can continue to upgrade the glyphs. Let's go through here. Test their skills on a new mobile game. No thank you. I always get those mobile game alerts things, and I always like, no thanks, I don't want to play a mobile game. You know how many times I've gotten hit up for like sponsorships for Raid Shadow Legends? I'm like, I'm not playing that. I try to avoid playing like gacha games on stream, because here's the thing, like if I'm gonna play a game, and it's not like to be mean in regards to like sponsors and stuff, but it's like, it's got to be a game that I actually enjoy playing. One of the things is, I've said it before many times on the channel, when I play games, and this is kind of why I appreciate now that Blizzard has kind of stepped back in doing it, but like when I play video games, I don't want my video games to have a lot of predatory microtransactions in them. Like, I hate battle passes. That's actually one of the reasons why I skipped playing WWE 2K25, because they lock like the DLC behind like the battle pass system. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why can't people just buy the DLC and play like the wrestler characters and stuff? They want people to like spend as much time in the game to make like to spend microtransactions, and that's kind of predatory. And a while back, like Blizzard used to do that in Diablo 4, and then they realized like the community wasn't really too happy about that and wanted like improvements in the game. And I'm very proud to say that like Blizzard has done an amazing job of making like Diablo 4 fun. Like, I've been trying to get a whole bunch of friends into playing this game now, but the problem with it is that obviously Diablo 4 is super time consuming. Like, we're talking like a ridiculously long grind. Dreadknights, on top of being like a ridiculously long grind, it's one of those things where like if you don't like grinding for loot hours and hours, you're probably not going to find like the endgame system fun. I still feel like this is still better to get into than Path of Exile, because you know there's a lot of people who really enjoy Path of Exile. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Path of Exile. Keep that in mind. Nothing at all wrong with Path of Exile. If you like, I just feel like that's even more grindy of a game. But I'm gonna try. I want to see if I can find VTubers. This is like a mission of mine. I want to be able to find VTubers that play Diablo 4 and that play it regularly, or VTubers that would be interested in playing Diablo 4, so that I can actually have like Diablo 4 collabs, because that's like something I would love to do. And, you know, I'm always open to, I forgot to mention this a while back, I am open to collabing with actually regular streamers, too. Like, I'm not one of those VTubers like, oh, it's a flesh tuber, I will never, like, stream and interact with them. I'm not that guy. Like, when I do collabs, I want to be able to collab with, like, everybody, whether it's streamers, whether it's VTubers, you know? And I've done a pretty good job lately of stepping out of my comfort zone. Okay, let's blow up some of this stuff. Good. Took a lot of damage there, though. But I feel like this is probably the best way to grind. Good. Far away. Let's jump. I should probably get the pylon here. Let's grab the pylon. Alright, nice, nice, nice. Again, 100 stacks and then we'll just fire it off. At some point I'm going to play Paladin. I think, like, the next stream. Because I feel like we've done just about everything outside of killed, like, Uber and Mephisto with Warlock. So I feel like now we gotta switch over to, like, a new character, go back on Eternal Realm, maybe finish up some story campaign. Like, I'm very tempted to go back and do Barbarian now on Eternal Realm. Like, I see, like, honestly, like, how long it's gonna take to level him. So my Barb is, like, level 50, and I have to play through, like, Vessel of Hatred campaign again. I didn't particularly like the Vessel of Hatred campaign. I was hoping we were gonna get, like, a skip option, too. Having a skip option would be nice for all that stuff. Are they calling for Akarat? It seems like it. I'm gonna be careful because I'm getting poison damage here, so I'll move back a little bit. Fire away. Apocalypse. Nice. There's a boss. Okay. Same thing we did last time. Gets 100 stacks. Fire off Apocalypse, and it one-shots. We're doing like 1 billion damage, roughly. I don't have, like, the damage numbers on because I don't want it because it just kind of detracts away from a lot of stuff. The reason we're doing this again is to upgrade the glyphs. So this one's at 50. This one I don't need. So we're going to upgrade... Unbound would be nice. But I feel like we'll do this one first. Entropy. Okay, good. I don't think I can grab anything here. Oh, they changed. Look. So now they put a marking for the talismans that's green. So that's nice. That's a nice little change they did too. Nice little hotfix. I gotta admit, this hotfix is pretty good. Blizzard. I'm liking this hotfix. It feels good. It's nice, nice. Like an actual nice, good feel to it. Gotta love it. Alright, let's see. So let's collect our rewards for Turo. I do like the fact that oh, it opens there too. That's kind of nice because it's not... They did a lot to, like, change how things are cluttered. Now people just stand around there instead. Okay. Set charm. Another set charm. Alright. I can't pick up any of these because I just have too many of them. I'm all full on murmurs too, which is kind of funny. Let's do some Gambon rings, but first let's get rid of some of this loot again. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Definitely don't need that. Don't need that either. Holding on to that. That would be good for a different build, but I don't use that build anymore. We'll get rid of it for now. Good. Good. Nothing necessarily amazing for the base here. Get rid of the black for the blacksmith. Keep the rest of the stuff for now. Let's ring Gamba so we can get... Trying to get a Starless Skies. That would be ideal for today. Just roll some rings.
They can't all be winners, can they?
No, they can't all be winners. She's not wrong there. I also can, like, upgrade my boots, which I might do that also. So that way we can get a little bit more optimization. I don't know if you can honestly get a mythic ring from rolling here. I've never personally tried, so we're doing it for science. Nothing good again. I mean, at least the Obel merchant is near the blacksmith, so that's kind of a nice little change too. Junket. Because now we have, like, the stash there too. It feels like a better uniform thing. That's kind of cool. Props to Blizzard. That was actually smart. If they could do that in Diablo 2, that would be nice, because there's a thing in Act 5 where you would love to have, like, the box move to a different area. So it's not, like, so far away from, like, all the important stuff that you would do. Alright. I think we could roll a couple more rings. See if we can get this mythic from it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not too bad.
We didn't get any, like, air bases. Another thing that would be kind of cool is to be able to, like, roll a mythic in the Kanai's Cube, aka the Heretic Cube. So no, it's not called Kanai's Cube in this game. I'm so Diablo 3 coded that I still call it, like, the Kanai's Cube. Alright, let's roll a couple more rings.
An excellent pull, my friend.
Excuse me.
A fate smile.
Vocal cords are bothering me a little bit this week. A lot of yapping.
Well, that's it for that piece.
Alright. And pick this up just to get rid of that junk, because I don't want to carry around with that. We'll look at the boots and see if we have like a significant upgrade to what we have, because I see that there's some earth stuff here. Those are gloves. Is this boot better? 107. Fortified generation built in, which is 18.8. Dodge chance. It's an interesting thing. Dodge chance. I don't know. We get more fortified generation, so that's actually important for the build. We lose a dodge chance. Attacks reduce evades cooldown, though. That's kind of helpful. I think that these are better boots. So we gotta do two things.
Mainlander? What did
We gotta... let me check the air boots, too, while I'm at it. The armor would be nice, too. Hold on. Let me do a contrast and compare. 19.8 toughness. 18.2 toughness. Armor plus maximum life is 145. 83. Maximum life. I still feel like these boots are the better bet, because these are just 1 stars. So we're gonna first off do this. Junk it.
Know where to find me.
Gotta check the aspect on the boots. Please bear with me here. Casting a skill heals you. Okay.
What brings you to the ancient
Let's
isles?
put this here. Just looking for casting a skill. There we go. Easy upgrade. Can
Ancients
swap out the
butchered
book.
this one.
Boots. Didn't mean to do that, sorry. So these are the upgraded boots, as you can see here. Gonna swap them. Overall more damage too. That's nice. I don't need that. Definitely don't need this now, but I might save it for later. Can get rid of these boots. Can definitely get rid of these boots now. We could kind of get rid of this for now if we wanted to, but I'm going to hold on to it. Just because if I decide that I'm going to try out a different build.
Art is a waitress, isn't it?
Alright, nice. Alright. Only other thing I want to do is do a master work on this. Just so we could get like a little bit more value out of the boots. Maybe add like another stat to it. Mobility... We have mobility, right?
Then
I do evade cooldown, but I don't think it's really going to matter too much. Because I don't really abuse evade on here. Let me think about this carefully. Fortify, attacks. We don't have movement speed, actually. Which is kind of important. So should put movement speed on them. Gotcha luck. 31? That's over the limit if I'm not mistaken. We'll take that. 31 on that's pretty good. Way better than what we had before. Alright. New warpland. Wow, we will finish through that warpland very quickly. Alright, so what we're gonna do is Helltide Tarvis, maybe? What's the options if I go down? Nightmare Dungeon? Infernal Hordes? I don't like that option. So let's go this way. Nightmare Dungeon, pit. We'll do a Nightmare Dungeon. We'll have to do an Undercity, whether we like to or not. And then we'll do an Air Pit run. Just gives us enough, like, options to do things and to be, like, super grindy today. Pathfinder is pretty good, too. Let's drop down here. And today it's all about, like, speed, fast, efficient farming. Good. Fire that away. Nice. Do a couple more attacks here. Good, good. Far away. It's open here. Bound prisoner, that's fine. Let's teleport over here. Gonna cast a couple of these. Nice. Let's pick this up. Good amount of damage going on here as well. Fire it off. All we do with this build is basically get to like 100 stacks and we're good. You're welcome. I mean, it's all in a day's work for a hero, is it not, Dreadknights? So yeah, I'm gonna be pretty busy in the next couple of days. I'll probably have no time this weekend either for anything too. Just because there's so much stuff going on. It's so farly stretched. I'm definitely excited about all the upcoming collabs though. It's been a while coming, a lot of them. Being able to get to work with other people is gonna be kind of a nice feeling, you know, after so much time has passed. And let's go up this way. We'll take out those enemies. Oh, pretty decent. Let's build up 100 stacks. Cool. Where is the... Okay. I was about to say, because it's like all mixed in with all the other, like, auras and stuff that we're casting. This Warlock build is honestly the ultimate aura farmer, literally. Pick that up in a minute. Just trying to lead them to me so I can just fire off an Apocalypse really quickly.
Wouldn't have made it without you.
Great. Actually, I want this because it does something, if I recall correctly. Gives me better rewards. Not that I really need too many rewards right now. The only thing I really would want is Mythic, so I can complete, like, all the Mythics that we need for this season. Like, one of the goals, particularly, is I want to be able to get, like, every Mythic this season, so I could use them for, like, Eternal Realm characters. And also, I, like, need extra Helms of Perdition and stuff like that. Let's wait on this. Get that stack. Fire off. Good to go. Alright, nice. Let's push forward here. What's the next objective? Slay the possessed brine. I think there's one, like, literally right here, so let's take care of him. I'm gonna use a smaller Apocalypse. Why did I do that? Because I knew he was gonna do enough damage. Oh, he got pushed back by something. I don't know what it was now. Sweet. Alright, open sesame. Go for the jailer. We're gonna go up this way. Gotta go through here. Let's fire this off. Nice, nice, nice. Great. Watch out for that. I don't want to get hit. Could always go back and pick that up afterwards. The thing is, those swords that drop down for the people who don't know they're watching, they're one-hit kills. So the best thing to do is, like, avoid them at all costs. Let's pick this up. I have to kill every enemy in this area. It's one of those nightmare dungeons, okay. Just fine. Everyone will fall, everyone will get slayed. That's the job of the Wanderer, right? I see a demon and I have to take it out. It's only fair. Alright, let's pick this up. Nice. Go fight the boss. This boss probably is not going to give any trouble whatsoever here. Why we're doing this is basically just to, like, do some fast farming. Because we do 10, it's not going to be... It'll take a little longer to kill some of them right now, because we're not, like, super lift up. Is that another enemy here? Where did you come from, bro? Alright, peace out, bro. Thanks for coming. See you next hole. Ancestral set armor? Huh? Can these be upgraded? They can. I did not know that. Okay. Let me drop one then. They can be upgraded. Oh, I did not know that. That's something new to push for then. I need a full ancestral set of these. Fascinating. I didn't know that. Set chain or Linta, Beru. Trying to see for duplicates. We have a lot of these. That's an ancestral one, so we might as well get rid of this one. That changes things greatly, Dreadknights. So this is for shadow instance. Okay, cool. I know what to go after now. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I have a new target farm that we can also do. Oh, there's a lock rune word in here. We'll take it too, because I can never have too many of the rune words, just in case. We also have an urn chest I can open. Nice. Good. Primordial ash. Tuning prisons. Okay, great. Got a nerve. No significant loot here. You know, nothing ventured, nothing gained, I guess you could say, Dreadknights. Let's open this too. Because instead of like carrying around with a whole bunch of stuff back our way. Alright. Not a great thing. Let's go and do a pit run that we need to do. Knockdown status effect prevents removing or taking actions for a short duration. Let's go to the pit. Gonna do again another level 9. We could do higher than that, but the problem is like we're trying to go fast and efficient for this. Because without that speed, without that efficiency, you're just not doing anything smart. And speaking of not being efficient, that's what I get for looking away for a second. It's not your fault, Dreadknights, it was me. Let's take them out. Good, good, good. Sweet. Let's push over this way. Fire it off because we got 100 stacks. The good thing about this build is you can kind of get the 100 stacks pretty easily. Just in case. Well, maybe it was going to be a cursed one. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case here. Hit this. Why? Because it's a challenge. And most of these challenges are pretty easy for us to do. So, speed, time to spawn. I think we could get that one done pretty fairly easily. Because look, basically exploding everything. I wasn't kidding when I said in today's stream we're just going to be nuking demons left and right. Fire it off. Good. Move around this way. Fire it off too. Good. Over there. Let's get this challenge. Fire it off again. Everything literally just dies in one shots. I think there was something back there. I'm not gonna go pick it up for now. Maybe we'll be able to pick it in the box later. I just want to get through this run as fast as possible. Good. Fire it off. Yeah. I gotta watch a movie. Like, I haven't had time to watch any movies lately. Sister Dread was been recommending Insidious to me. She says like I have to absolutely watch Insidious. It's just like, these are horror movies, and you're gonna love these horror movies, and these are gonna be great horror movies, and stuff. And you know what? I still haven't had time to sit and watch them, because I'm always, like, super busy with so many other things that are going on concurrently. Okay, let's go this way. Nice, nice, nice. Nice. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Fast and efficient. It's far off in our Apocalypse. I know there's probably somebody that's watching and has like no idea. This is filthy metagame hours today. I wanted to play though because it's just like I need to chill and vibe, and this is like my comfort game. A lot of people don't realize that. Like when I'm feeling or I'm like feeling a little, or I feel like I just need like to vibe, I put Diablo 4 on lately, especially since the game's gotten so much better. It has such a bad rap from like past seasons and stuff, and it's not fair. Oh man, if we could get more people to play, that would be so cool. Fire this off. Good. Alright, cool. 100 stacks here. Nice. So fill these stacks up again. Fire them off. We're pretty tanky too. That's the thing. We can heal for like a ridiculous amount of health every time we do like massive amounts of damage. Alright. Fire off. Good. A boss already spawned? Wow. All that just from the boots upgrade, maybe? Because I felt like we were way faster at that time. Plus, we're also upgrading the glyphs, too, right? So, getting them to 50 is, like, the most important part. Alright, that's at 50. Now we move on to Unbound. And get it to 50. That's the next objective. And we get to do it. The cool thing is we're doing it passively. Let's get rid of yellows right now, because they're not important for, like, a base. And, like, breaking down ancestral pieces of stuff that I don't necessarily need still gives me value. Alright. Let's go. Next thing up should be a nightmare dungeon. I have to reset it at town? Why do I have to reset at town? Before it was letting me teleport? A bit fascinating. I know, I apologize I wasn't playing the friend swap game today, but I didn't feel like Peak was going to be something I could vibe with today. While we're here, let's get rid of some junk. I mean, it's not technically junk. It's just not stuff I can use. There's probably a lot of people that would love to have this stuff if, like, trading was a thing. I mean, I think trading is something you can do in this game. I don't know if you can do it for, like, Ancestrals. Probably not, because if I remember correctly, wasn't something along the lines, like, if it's masterwork, you can't, like, you can't trade it because it's, like, imprinted to your account. If I recall correctly, old junk. Wait. And again, I know there's other people who are probably like, where the hell's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel content? I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel anymore. I retired from Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I didn't enjoy the game. So I'm not gonna... I know this is like a big hot topic because there's people who are like expecting come here and watch me play Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't want to do that. I don't enjoy playing it. So, like, right now, in terms of content creation, for me, my top priority is my mental health. On, like, making sure that I can do this and entertain and do our projects that are coming up. I have to be able to, like, play the games that I enjoy playing, which is very, very important, especially, like, for the project I signed up. I was like, my mental health is important to me. So, one of the most important things, like, with my mental health in terms of, like, gaming is, like, playing stuff that I like. Because if not, like, it makes for bad stream. Like, there's probably some people who would love to see me, like, crashing out in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that that's peak content, but for me, that's not peak. It's not fun, not engaging. I don't like to, like, be in a bad mood when I play a game on stream. So it's, like, important for me to play stuff that I generally enjoy. It makes for a more enjoyable experience overall. Let's fire this off. Let's go up this way. There's a portal here. That's right. Fire those off. That'll take me to the next area, but there's still some enemies here we can take out. Do we have to kill everything in this area? Probably not. I think we could just go for the portal and get to the next part. This is a nightmare dungeon that we're doing right now. Alright. Go this way. 100 stacks. Fire it off. Get OP, man. I like the fact that we were able to get so strong with the Warlock, because I felt like for a lot of our time with Dreadclaws, I felt like it was an uphill battle. We just weren't, like, doing enough damage to be able to climb, like, the tournament levels high enough. I felt like we were really holding ourselves back, and this was, like, upgrading the glyphs that I was supposed to upgrade and stuff, too, and I don't know. This build just outclasses in every way. And you would think that this build is easy to play, but I gotta be honest with you, no, because of the damage rotations I gotta do, because I gotta build 100 stacks up. I can't kind of stay in the same area all the time, because if I stay in the area all the time, I have, like, a high potential of running into, like, AoEs that I can't see on the ground either, which just doesn't make for, like, efficient farms. Is this what I need? No. I think this just goes there. Okay, and it activates the shrine. Is it a curse shrine? I don't actually mind curse shrines because they give, like, more experience points. Was it a curse shrine? No, it wasn't. Okay, that's unfortunate. Is there an area I can go through? Where's the door to that? Very weird dungeon layout. I gotta be honest with you, Dreadknights. That's the one thing I don't like sometimes in a nightmare dungeon. Some of their layouts are a bit of a travesty, one might say. Fire this off just now. I even looked to see if I had the 100 stacks, but it doesn't really matter. Even, like, if we throw it off a little bit, it's not... It still does a lot. And we get the 100 back so quickly, as you just saw. So it's not gonna matter too much. Like, man. Freaking OP here. I love it. I'm getting, like, a power trip right now. Oh, so fun. I could play this all day. I'm gonna do probably a pretty decent grind session today. That's basically the whole thing. Tomorrow we play Monster Hunter Wilds, and I'll be playing, like, playing with viewers. People are allowed to play with me on stream if they want to. I want to practice for an upcoming collab that I have next Friday with Terrence's channel. Terrence is a male VTuber. indie male VTuber that I've known for quite a long time already. I think I've known Terrence at least 3 years through his content and through other people I know. So I hit him up because I've watched him quite a bit over the years, and I was like, hey, he's a nice, chill, cool content creator. It would be kind of fun. And he plays Monster Hunter. I was like, it'd be fun to play Monster Hunter with him. So that's what we're going to be doing next Friday. Terrence and I are going to be playing Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll be doing, like, I guess, master rank, like 100-ish content, maybe, you know, high level content, so to speak. I'll be helping him with probably quests that he has, and it's going to be a very fun collab. That's the most I could say. I'm definitely looking forward to working with Terrence. It's one of those things I've wanted to for quite a while. I just never had the time. How do I get in there? This map is confusing. Confirm. It's this way. Sometimes you get lost in these nightmare dungeons. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. And that'll be a collab next Friday. We have a week after announcement, which I think is gonna be kind of cool too. Let's teleport this way. Fire this off. Gotta watch out for the blood blister, because when it explodes, it does like a massive amount of damage to me. Far away. Good. We are so metagaming, bros. Far away. Some people say this is too easy. They might be. Oh my goodness, watch out for those. In a certain retrospect, they may be correct. I'm looking for a certain enemy to show up, and it still hasn't. You see how it says in the Nightmare Dungeon list that I have to slay the Vesicator? We have yet to find this Vesicator, whatever it is. Astonishing. Take care of those enemies. My only guess is, if it's somewhere, it's probably going to be the boss, and they just didn't say slay the boss. Which is looking like it's the case, Dreadknights. It is the case. Well, square up, Vesicator. I am the Dragon of the Abyss. I will one-shot you. Well, that was easy. A little too easy, some might say. We get... Ideally, what I'm looking for at this point is, like, unique charms and ancestral charms. If it's not that, I really don't necessarily need it. Like that, I don't need that. We'll pick up any of the blue loot. Just for the whole argument. Let's open these. I do have other things I can get. That's the one thing. I set up, like, my tree to be able to get, like, a whole bunch of different items to drop. Really ideal? I would wish there was a way to get, like, better rune words, because I feel like that's the one thing that we haven't been getting a whole bunch of drops. A lot of rune words that are, like, significant and impactful. And we're trying to upgrade these glyphs because I want to fight Uber Mephisto, but we're not just there yet. I forgot I gotta do an Undercity run. How many people in chat like Undercity Cross as runs in an endgame mechanic? I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but Dread has never been a big fan of Undercity runs in Cross. Just something about them. You have to have like very specific builds to run through it effectively. I feel like it's just a lot of busy work, so to speak. Let's chunk this. Get rid of this. Chunk it as well. Open this. Okay, good. Decent amount of stuff here. Let's get rid of these. Nice. Chunk that as well. To the Undercity we go. I haven't had like a mythic thing drop in a while too, so I don't have like a mythic tribute. If I did, we probably would pop it. Does it really matter at this point? I mean, we could get scrolls. Increase the monsters by 2. Let's try it for science and see how hard it is. Because this build usually one-shots the majority of everything anyway, so I don't feel like we have to worry too much about that. Good. Just gotta build up our stacks. Okay, they're not alive. I got scared there. I was like, are we not damaging things quickly? Guess we gotta, like, delete a whole bunch of things quickly and get a whole bunch of time back on the clock. Okay. This build is pretty good at doing that. Far away. Nice. Still something in the mix there? It looks like it. I can't really tell. So there's a torch here, correct? Where's the torch? There it is. Let's get it for the entombment. And then we'll build up stacks. Far away. Let's use this for mobility. Definitely need like more cooldown and stuff. Never step here. Why are we going here? We want the time. Bit more time back on the clock. And also, it's kind of within the path of the actual entrance too. So we'll make up some stuff too there. Far away. Good. Let's go here. Okay, nice. Let's build up these things. Far away. There is a whole bunch of hatred here, and I don't know what is what, because there's too much stuff going on. Alright, let's just use Never Step there. Shall we, Dreadknights? Good. Let's build these up. Far away. Good. Nice, nice, nice. Build that up. Far away. Good. Let's go over this way. The good thing is we're in a position where we have quite a bit of enemies that will give us some time back on the clock over here. Far away. Good. Let's move over this way, because it's just like right near us, so why not do it for the sake of argument? Good. It's far away here as well. Just gotta get rid of the last enemy. Probably gonna fire off one. Where is it? Gonna do that because if we keep like playing around with it, it's gonna be like really annoying. Of a nuisance. We're losing valuable time on the clock. There's nothing around, so let's go fight an enemy that can give us more time back on, so we can get. I'm trying to get to Entombment 4, because I feel like if we don't do that, it's a waste of a run. It's not necessarily like ideal. Far away. Good job. Let's move over this way. Nice. Far away. Okay, good. Let's grab this here. We're gonna just kind of build up as well. Far away. Good. Decent amount of stuff. Let's go over this way. I'm gonna grab this here because that's gonna give us at least attunement level 3. Maybe not 3. Probably give us at least close to the end of the 2 bar. Okay, good. Let's keep going. Borrow this for a stack. Always trying to get 100 stacks here, Dreadknights. It does the most damage. I was right, actually. Originally, it did give us pretty much close to the 3rd bar there. That's surprising. Even I didn't think it was going to do that. Alright. Nice, happy accident. Far away. We're going to go to the torch here. Just in there. I'm going to continue to get the 100 stacks. Fire them off. Spirits have empowered us. That's great. Let's move over this way so we can get more time on the clock. Fire the Apocalypse. And basically just profit at this point. Alright, let's go Spirit Beacon. So we need that attunement level. Far away. Everything gets nuked. This build is ridiculously powerful. Like, the only thing that can stop it is like having a Paragon farm to get to like 12. Which is where we kind of hit a little bit of a roadblock before, but holy crap, man. I will say, it is a fun build to play. And it's not like, not everybody can do this. Right? Because it takes a bit of skill to play it. It might not look like it, but your damage rotations have to be a certain way. You kind of have to move like in circles here. Because you can't like stand straight. It might look like it from like the untrained eye, but I have to move around a bit with this build. Just to be able to do that. Alright, cool. Wow, has it already been an hour that I've been playing? This is how, you know, I really enjoy this game. But it hasn't felt like an hour to me. And we one-shot the boss. And that was actually a boss power with like a +2 power level too, so that's a crazy part. Alright. Well, that was good. Let's pick up some stuff. I want this to be ancestral. Alright. Let's go do a pit run. What we're doing is war plans. Let me do a second to check OBS. So we've been green this whole time, yeah? It looks like it. Yeah, no frame drops today. Good, good, good. I was concerned, like, yesterday was such weird issues. I wasn't 100% sure what was going on yesterday. like one of those things where it just scratched my head quite a bit. Like I was like, why is this going on? I know Dread has always tried to, like, when he streams on here, try to keep like stream quality always like really good. And I was thinking of doing again, like I mentioned, like a VR chat stream on Friday maybe, but I might just like default to playing Repo again because I really enjoyed Repo as a game. I didn't think I was going to enjoy the game as much as I did. Like, it's definitely another one of those games that I kind of like for comfort. Like a comfort game, like, you know. Okay, so let's continue to build this up. Let's continue to build it up. Our 100. Nice, nice, nice. Good. Let's teleport this way. Why? Because we had a pretty bad rotation going on. One thing too is, like, I feel like the pit, they need to fix like the mob density a little bit. I feel like there's not enough enemies in the pit coming at you. Like, that was the best thing about like the Greater Rift system in Diablo 3. I'm a big fan of Diablo 3, in case you haven't noticed that. That's probably why I'm kind of enjoying the current direction of Diablo 4, because it feels very similar to Diablo 3. Everything I liked about Diablo 3 at the moment is being given to me in Diablo 4. You know? And I know there's some people who prefer for like it to be like Diablo 2, but you know, Diablo 2 is arguably still the greatest dungeon crawler of all time. However, I feel like a lot of the stuff that Diablo 2 does is super archaic and outdated at this point. And when I play a game, I like to, you know, if I'm gonna play like an old school ARPG, I'll just fire up Diablo 2 Resurrected, right? I don't want like Diablo 4 to feel like Diablo 2. And there were some people who really heavily were trying to push from the very beginning of the game's inception, which is why I think sometimes like the devs kind of change things so many different times in the very beginning of the lifespan of Diablo 4, was because I felt like they were kind of listening to like Diablo 2 players that will always scream and shout at the clouds like, you know, we just want Diablo 2, but you have Diablo 2, you know? And here's the other thing too about like Diablo 4 at the moment. It feels a lot like Diablo 3 in certain retrospects, but it does enough right now differently to feel like its own type of game, right? You know, because it's not just like Diablo 3, the end game of Diablo 3 is just do greater rifts and bounties, and that's it. And also the occasional Nephilim rifts to get, like, greater rift keys. But that's all you're doing in the endgame of Diablo 3, and don't get me wrong, I love that endgame system. But, like, Diablo 4 at least has, like, a bit of variety to it, you know? Go do a Nightmare Dungeon, even though I do personally feel like they need to make running Nightmare Dungeons important again, because they've just lost like all value, and since you can't get aspects out of them, like what is exactly the point of the Nightmare Dungeons? They don't give like an increased amount of experience points to my knowledge. So exactly what is the function of these things now, Blizzard? Like, and I don't mean that to be mean, I'm just like, we need to have the Nightmare Dungeons do something too. Like originally back in the day they would upgrade the glyphs through there, but then they changed it so that the pit system was going to be where you upgrade the glyphs. So then Nightmare Dungeons kind of lost like their viability, and it used to be like back in the day you would run Nightmare Dungeons too to try to get like a high chance of uniques and stuff that you needed in gear. But the thing is, then that got kind of replaced by, you know, the lair boss farming, which is kind of like Diablo 2 in a way when you think about it. You're just targeting specific bosses. Well, that's what this guy has way too many affixes, and we're running into problems because of those shields. I might take an unnecessary hit here. I'm probably gonna evade. I gotta do never step here. Let me fire one away, but the problem here is there's like a whole bunch of enemies that were doing like poison damage. If I stayed in the same area, we would be in for a very bad spot. Killed them in one hit. Okay, good. Way too many affixes there, and all of them were like poison enemies. You know. All right. Let's get this glyph. We did the pit run. Which glyph am I upgrading? Unbound. So this is the next one that we were targeting. We got that at level 50 is the goal, because that will allow us to comfortably be able to do like Torment 10 and up. You know, we're already at 11. It's just we gotta kind of lock in, you could say. Alright, nice, nice, nice. New event is happening too, so there's a lot of people that are playing today. Alright, let's go. Well, now we're gonna put something to theory here with the event. Is there gonna be extra experience orbs dropping? So that's what Dread is the most concerned about. So for science here, as we get a tree of whispers, we can do science and figure out stuff.
It is done.
Let's do talismans. So we might get like ancestral ones. I don't really feel like that did anything better. Nothing. Nothing I would pick up. None of that's ancestral. I'm sad. Maybe we should have went with different options. Alright. Well, we got Tyrael still, so maybe Tyrael won't make us sad. I feel like it takes so long to level up the war plans to the very end. Because the last couple levels of it are a bit of a challenge. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Let's open this. Did we get that? Oop. On their foot. Oh, this one was better because at least we got like rune stuff. It's not ancestral either. That's kind of unfortunate. Let's get rid of these things here. Good. And drink that as well. Let's go to seasonal. Not bad, but not great. Still can do more. Let's stick with the level that we have for now. When I start seeing that, like, we have to move up to pit 10 in terms of torment, then we'll start focusing on that, okay? Helltide Harvest, Purge Grass, Facing Forward. So we're gonna do Helltide. Let me check the clock, 6:12, okay. Cleanse Pit, Cleanse Pit. Oh, not another Undercity. I hate doing Undercity. I try to avoid doing it as much as possible. Even though we were fine the last run with it. Alright, let's go do a Helltide. Hopefully there's still some chests that we can open too, because the problem with that, like, we haven't really had like a whole bunch of chests that we can open in quite a bit. You know, like, we'll go here, we'll look for like the protection chest. Skip the protection is ideally the way to go with these. It's a different area entirely. So we'll go for that one. That's the first one we're going to target in our journeys here. Oh, got hit by something? Not quite sure what we're getting hit by. Let's blow up these. Okay. Alrighty. Fascinating. Could blow it up. Gotta watch out for the one-hit death, though. We're good. Let's pick some of this stuff up. Keep pushing here. I could probably do tower runs, too. I wonder if I'd have high enough placement. Probably not at this point, because it's like only the top 1,000 get in. Alright. Let's do this. I'm gonna go here because that's also a Tree of Whispers thing here with the ritual site, so I might like summon enemies too. Give me potentially some cinders. It did not. We need 75 to open a Gift of Protection, so gotta grind some cinders, boys. Move there because I'm getting hit. It looks like we'll be able to get like a couple of also True Whisper events done too. That's a plus. Hey, I'm gonna hang a loop here because we're trying to farm enemies for cinders. We don't still have a lot. And on top of that, we're also farming them for, you guessed it, for bounties for the True Whispers. Far away again. Now we're just nuking things. I didn't even do the 100 stacks there. I got a little bit reckless. I was like, we don't really need it. Boom. Literally. You might as well call this build the Katie Kaboom build at this point. That's what it is. It's far away. Cool. It's not bad. I'm surprised we didn't get challenged by... Oh, Darkness Gavers. Okay, we were gonna get challenged. I mean, I could just get rid of you in a shot. Whatever was here died. Oh, no. It's still here. Okay. That's fine. You're about to get one shot anyway. I'm gonna eradicate you out of existence, demon. Alright, good. Sunzy. Ah, man, I love this game. So much fun. Man. A lot of people are like, why? Why you play this? This game's bad. No, it's not. This is a fun game. I love this game. Like, sign me up for more Diablo 4. I do have to go back and play our classes, though. Because I spent so much time with the Warlock bows, because it was the new toy, right? You gotta play the new toy first. If you don't play, like, the new shiny toy first, what are you doing? Right? And I had already played the Paladin because it was like, I got the pre-release of Lord of Hatred expansion. So what ended I have not that far. That's a Harbinger, and I think that is a bounty. Maybe. It was not. It doesn't matter. Could have potentially given us good loot, too. Yeah. Far away. We could probably go up to Torment 10 now. I feel like we're strong enough that we can do it. So we'll probably bump it to Torment 10 after this rotation and see how well we're doing. So those boots, like that extra, like 500 number, or the extra 5, I guess you could say, it was quite significant. I need another gift of protection, so we'll go to that one. So we need it to do the war plans. But we're definitely making strides. It was about the glyph upgrades too, because people don't realize how important those glyphs upgrades are to like the overall success of your build. Like I was reading on Twitter this interesting thing, or X, whatever you call it, earlier, about like, there was a person who was angry because they said that they wanted Blizzard to remove the seasonal chapter 8 challenge, which I did yesterday. I put out a YouTube short about it, which was basically defeating Uber Lilith on Tournament 8 difficulty, and they said it was too hard. Now, I definitely understand that to a certain degree, because if you went in there without proper gear, or you didn't go in there with, like, one of the best builds that's available for your class, and your Paragon board might be numbers that are not necessarily good or efficient for your build, or power up and do stuff to help, like, elevate your success, it would probably be a very rough thing. But I don't think that they should personally remove stuff like that, because here's the thing, like, the whole point of the extra chapters that they added for Seasonal Journey are just there for people who want to, like, have a extra hard challenge. Otherwise, everybody would have been just finished with their Seasonal Journey already. Like, for me, I don't know if personally I'm going to do up to Chapter 12, because that's just, like, for bragging rights. And I probably, at this point, have played so much Warlock that I'm good and in a spot where I found the build that works the best for the Warlock, that I'm ready to move on to then start experimenting with her classes. Like, I saw a tier list that came out. I was surprised to see Whirlwind Barbarian on S tier, and everybody that knows me from, like, past Diablo games, my favorite builds are, like, was always Whirlwind Barbarian, so now you're telling me Whirlwind Barbarian is good again? Sign me up. Sign me up right away. I want to play Whirlwind Barbarian again. Like, yes, please, thank you. Yes, please, now. Like, definitely. You know, but there's, you know, so I have a lot of things I could still do in this game. I could go and other things. I'm going to be doing a lot of that on stream, too. Like, I said, like, at the very beginning of the 6th anniversary that this would happen. We lost audio? Game just, like, said no more audio for us? Okay. Let me back out of the game. The game's audio just mysteriously cut out, which means I just got to restart the game. I apologize for that. That's random as hell. I think it has to do with, like, audio thing. If you're just joining us, it's a little bit embarrassing. Audio cut out. This is an easy fix. I've had this glitch happen. We got to just exit out of Diablo 4, and I'll go back in. Which kind of sucked, because I was going to do that pit run there, and then it's like, no audio for you. Sometimes if you're too good, you actually, like, ruin the audio sounds. I'm putting the game back up now. Like, don't stress it. Just gotta wait for it to reset itself. Embarrassing. Crazy how the audio just there is like, yeah, you know, you've been playing a lot of Diablo. Let's take a quick... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Stand corrected. I was about to restart the game, and then I was like, it's gonna take a bit. Because the thing is, I have, like, a brand new graphics card. I have, like, a 5060 RTX. And with the 5060 RTX, sometimes, like, in order to play this game, I have to, like, it switches to a different, like, output. Which then kind of, like, freezes up the screen for a minute. Hopefully this won't, like, affect encoders, because usually when I play this game, I prefer to have the game start first and then have OBS sometimes. But I think we're good. Game's going back up now. Sorry about that. We'll go back and do the run back on that bit run there. You could also see some of the other characters I'm working on too, while we're waiting. Lord of Hatred. I like the music too. I think the sound design for Lord of Hatred expansion is phenomenal. Like, I didn't like any of the music from Vessel of Hatred expansion. Right. So as you can see, there's our characters that I have a lot from earlier seasons. But we're not working on those. We're working on seasonal character today. So we're going back to Kaylin, the Warlock. Female Warlock. Alright. Which we're playing, for those of you who are probably wondering, the Apocalypse Warlock build, which is considered... Most websites have considered it A tier. And I can see why they put it at A tier, because it still has, like, a little bit of issues with survivability as you go higher up. But it's probably the best build that you could do for the Warlock at the moment. I was playing for a couple weeks Dreadclaws, anybody who's, like, a regular viewer of the channel. And Dreadclaws was fun, but you just couldn't do as much of a damage output as what I normally prefer. Did I pick a 95 or did I pick a 9? I think I picked the 90. Oh, that's what we're doing. We're gonna see if we can clear a 95. I picked the wrong number. Uh-oh. I got distracted because I just wanted to get back into that. I think we could do it. As long as I don't run into any particular mobs with like a lot of affixes act poison, we should be okay. Might take a lot longer to clear it though, but we're up for a challenge, I suppose. I got 100 stacks though. Technically, the rift that we're doing, or pit that we're doing right now, depth level, is a little bit higher than I should be doing because I don't have my gear properly optimized just yet for this, like with the glyphs. But we'll try, since I already did it. I'm up for a challenge here and there. I mean, I'm saying it's a challenge, but I think we're doing pretty good too right now. It's just avoiding stuff with like tomfoolery affixes. Kaboom. Case in point, those have poison, so I really don't want to be near them. This thing is refusing to drop. That took a long time for a mob that wasn't worth it, I suppose, Dreadknights. Okay. I got caught on a rock. Kaboom. I mean, I'm complaining about this, but hey, we're clearing screens pretty easily. But again, we did level up a lot of the glyphs for now. Again, the only thing that I'm scared of is poison, because I don't have like a lot of poison resistance, which I should really build into this, because I feel like once you get to like the true endgame in Diablo IV, you're always dealing with like poison resistance. You become like a nuisance. Fire off there. Okay, good. I also have to kind of do better damage rotations. Go this way. So how's everybody doing in chat? Having a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world? I'm doing pretty good. I got Chipotle for dinner tonight, so I'm kind of happy because I was really in the mood for Chipotle. Barbacoa, black beans, pinto beans. Because like I mentioned this earlier in chat, like I've been trying to avoid like eating fast food. And I guess technically Chipotle would be considered fast food, but I was like, I didn't have time to cook. I've been working on projects nonstop. I haven't been sleeping. Like, I had 3 hours of sleep yesterday. I was like, I have to stream today, and I have to set up some, like, collabs that are happening. I have a collab, actually, next Friday with Terrence. Male VTuber friend of mine that I've known for about, like, 3 years. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna be playing, like, Monster Hunter Wilds. I have other VTuber friends I'm gonna be collabing with, too. So I'm looking forward to it. Like, the thing about, like, collabs with me, I've said this before. Like, I usually like to collab with people that I know, or I'm, like, super familiar with. That, you know, I'm kind of like on a somewhat friendly basis with. Because, you know, I know not every VTuber does that, you know, I've heard before. Like, there's some people that are like, oh, they just treat, like, you know, a business arrangement, they're not really friends. I don't like to operate that way. So I like my collabs to be a little bit more, I don't want to say intimate, because that's not necessarily the word, but, like, friendly, a good rapport. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I didn't get to sleep much, and because I didn't get to sleep much, I didn't have, like, time to cook before stream. It was like super busy. This monster has a pretty big affix. So, the next best thing was Chipotle, because I was like, I thought about Taco Bell, but I'll be honest with all of you in chat. Like, Dreadknights, when it came to like Taco Bell lately, the Taco Bell in my area is pretty bad. They have lately not been cooking their chicken. I'm not really big on ground beef. I can have it every once in a while, like a ground beef taco, but it's not like my thing. So my thing, like when I go to Taco Bell, so I like to get like the Cantina chicken tacos. This is, you know, it's like roasted chicken. It's not like that cheap cube chicken that they use. No offense, Taco Bell. I mean, I'm still willing to sell out for a sponsorship of tacos. I kid. Actually, I probably would do a Taco Bell sponsorship. I kid you not. I think back in the day when I was on Twitch, some of the ads that would run on my Twitch channel, and I still have the Twitch channel. I think I'm doing a Twitch stream here and there in the future, because I kind of want to see how that goes. But yeah, I used to have like Taco Bell ads that would run non-stop, and people used to complain, old viewers of mine from Twitch days, that like I was like sponsored by Taco Bell, because every time I mentioned Taco Bell, they'd get like Taco Bell ads, which I always like found hilarious. It's just one of those silly things. Like, you know what I always get for advertisements, like when I'm watching either on YouTube or Twitch? Like I get the gacha games. Hold that for a second. Like, they'll always give me Honkai Star Rail, which I've played maybe a little bit of it. I think I might have streamed it at some point. I can't pick these up, and these enemies are like just causing the damage on the face and kind of go. So like they always like trying to get me to play like Honkai Star Rail. Another one is that one with the guns. Does anybody know what it's called? But Nikke, right? It's called Nikke. Like that's another one that people are trying. Not people, but like I always get advertisements for that. I never get like advertisements of stuff like I'm interested in, like Nintendo Switch games or like anything that's available on Steam. Like I would kill for like a Pragmatica like advertisement and stuff, you know? It's like, oh, I died. I looked away for a second. I got a little too greedy there. It's fine. Just a little bit of time. I got a little bit of a humble pie there. But you know, like, that's the thing about ads too that's always so fun. I don't mind sitting through ads, because I'm one of those viewers that, like, if an ad pops up and I'm watching, like, another content creator, I want them to get their bag. I'm one of those weird people that will probably sit through, like, the whole advertisement, despite the fact that I probably missed some stuff. I know there's other people that, like, absolutely hate ads, but me as a content creator, I understand how the flow goes. Understand? Content creators gotta get their bag. Whenever possible! The butcher's gonna ruin the run! Butcher ruin our run. Because what happens is I have a special thing set up where if the butcher comes and he kills me or I kill him, it ends the run. We didn't get an upgrade of glyphs, but we did get the war tide, or excuse me, the pit run complete in the plan of the war plan. That kind of made me sad though. He ruined the run. Always foiled by the butcher. Every stream that I've done with Diablo 4 has at least had one run that was ruined by the butcher. I will get you back, butcher, for this. This I command. So you know, just one of those things, man. I have to take that, like, special power-up thing off, because let me show you for people in chat are like, what the hell are you talking about? Not there. So, in war plans, you can modify how your endgame experience is, right? So, for my pit runs, I have it, and this is, like, foolish me, where I have this here because I wanted these, like, special perks, and the only thing was to have the butcher show up. So, like, the butcher shows up, and if you fail to run or you kill him, the run ends automatically there. So we couldn't upgrade our glyph, but we did get it successfully. The ironic part is I have another run coming up right now for pit, so we can do the run back. I'm probably not going to do 95, though. Probably be smart about this and bring it back down to, like, 9 for now, so we could just upgrade the glyphs a little bit more comfortably. We would have had that 95, though. We were clearing pretty fast, so I think I'm getting closer to hitting unlock for Torment 12, and then like a lot of insanity can happen. But we still gotta upgrade our glyphs a bit, which is kind of the point of today's stream, is just like really effectively endgame farming. Okay, there is a whole bunch of stuff that I can't see that way, and all I know is that we're casting a whole bunch of Apocalypse. So for people who might not know exactly what's going on with the build, what I'm doing is I cast Umbral Chains to build up 100 on the meter for my Apocalypse, and which is a big ultimate attack, and then I cause the whole screen to like explode. It's like a giant nuke, a giant fireball, and that's basically all there is. You also summon like a demon every so often. It gives you like extra stacks and extra like buffs. We got Golem Mastery there, cool. We got another challenge reward too. We're getting a lot of challenges. I hope these challenges could wing. That's one thing I would like to see from Blizzard in the future. Like, can we get more like rewards that are actually wings? Or like doing a whole bunch of challenges. I felt like we don't have enough wings that aren't like paid for cosmetics. you know, in this game, which I'd like to see them kind of bring back a couple of rewards for free, like wings. It's nice to have wings. I used to love having the wings in Diablo 3, like, because one of the big things about, like, the seasonal rewards was you would get either, like, a pet, or you would get, like, some wings. I feel like we could improve the seasonal journey just a bit. Because, I mean, the seasonal journey right now, I won't show you right in this precise second, it's just like getting materials to help your seasonal journey. But, like, I feel like if you get all the way to the end of it, like, back in the day, you should get, like, a pet, or a wing, or, you know, something cool, a little bit of a cosmetic, just to be like, hey, bragging rights that you went through the whole season. That was one of the charming parts of, like, Diablo 3, and it's one of the things I feel like still is kind of missing in Diablo 4 season. Will climb. I know we have like leaderboards and stuff. I'm not saying that anything to be necessarily negative. This is just like a suggestion. You know, a suggestion for the game. Ways to help include like player retention too, because now we're just chasing for Paragon numbers. Which is not bad. The game itself is fun right now. I've switched through 3 or 4 different builds of Warlock till I eventually settled on this one, because this one was like basically meta. You know, at this point this is the meta build. And I know some people out there will probably be like, Dread cannot play casually in this game. I can't really, I'll be honest with you, because one of the things I like to do both personally, and for stuff I can't talk about particularly as Dread, leaderboard placement is kind of important for me. It's bragging rights, and you know, on top of bragging rights, people take you a little bit more seriously. Just as a content creator for Diablo 4, as well as just a content creator in general, and just, well, in the Diablo community, if you can get, like, high tower placement, you know, so, and because I've always liked to do my best in video games, that's just part of my nature, that's why I'm trying to aim for it. We did it this time. Obviously, it was a little bit less, but I'm looking for ancestral set charms. We only have gotten one to drop today, and it's not one that will help modify our build. Alright. So this is what I was talking about what we're doing. We're upgrading glyphs for people who don't know. Glyphs are things that you put in your Paragon board that basically enhance your power in some sort of way. So, what we were doing was we were focusing on the lower levels here. Because, like, Unbound, I want this at level 50 at least. Because then we can start, like, pushing much higher. So now, like, the idea is I'll go back to these. And we'll start bumping these up more. So we can get them to 80, because around 80, I should be able to do Torment level probably 10, and even maybe 11 with ease, where you see how I'm deleting enemies now easily. When we do, like, the tier 95 pit run, for example, we'll pretty much be doing the same type of damage, and we'll have more survivability, you know. This is a dungeon crawler, so it's going to get, like, very grindy, which I like, personally. You know, it's a nice, chill comfort game for me. Again, like Diablo 4... they've kind of treated it less like a dungeon crawler, a little bit more like an MMO. So anybody who's, like, played MMOs in the past, whether it's, like, Final Fantasy 14, we've got to do an Undercity run. Does it really matter what I put in here? Probably not. But, like, anybody who's played MMOs like Final Fantasy 14, or maybe you played, back in the day, one of my favorites, Phantasy Star Online. I don't really care too much for Phantasy Star Online 2, New Genesis, I can't get into. Or you play stuff like even, what's that other game I played a little bit of? Warframe. You'll know that it's, like, not so much about, like, rushing through the end game, it's about just, like, enjoying the experience, making your character more powerful, seeing how high you can climb, when you get that rare piece of gear that really pushes you over the edge, you ramp up on difficulty, and you do harder endgame content. That's, like, where the fun is in Diablo. You're not supposed to rush this. Just like in an MMO. People don't necessarily... well, maybe nowadays they do. But most people that play, like, casual games, like for World of Warcraft and stuff, for example, they... you know, the casual side of it, they just will, like... grind, you know, at their own pace. And they're not, rushing to endgame or stressing to get to endgame and stuff. You know? These type of games are like that. It's a bit of a slow burn, you know? I saw a lot of complaints, obviously, with Lord of Hatred, because, like, you don't see a lot of white loot, which are uniques, or purple loot, until you get, like, higher up into the Torment levels, but that was done intentionally. So, to give it more of that classic action RPG dungeon crawler feel that it's kind of lacked in a while, I'm getting hit by a whole bunch of things. That's why I wasn't even cast Apocalypse there. I think I caught in an AoE, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here. We'll take care of this little torch here when I can see it. Just explode on them. Apocalypse. Good. You know, so it's about the journey, not rushing to the destination. I like these type of games. I love it. That's why I enjoy Monster Hunter so much, and I play so much of it on the channel too. Because Monster Hunter is one of those games that just, you know, get incrementally more powerful and do challenging endgame content. Ideally, we probably shouldn't have touched this attunement thing, but it's okay. I can make it up in the next map area. Alright, let's teleport over here. Technically, we're never stepping. And I gotta look for enemies that can give me a whole bunch of time back on the clock, and we lost a little bit. I'm probably not gonna go for too many 100 stacks here, just because I need, like, an enemy to give me time. I'm gonna take this, even though it's a bad idea. We get to 100 stacks, we're good. Okay, pick those up quickly. Let's go over here. I'm looking for enemies, because if not, we're gonna have to rush through the gate. I think we're not gonna be able to get a max level here because of the time. It's not our side. This damage rotation, these enemy layouts, not exactly ideal. Alright. We should not risk it for the biscuit. So, let's try to get out of here. We're gonna run to the... Oh, never mind. We have something we can do to get some more time back on the clock here. Gave me 162. Okay. There we go. We're back in this Dreadknights. We're so back. We're so back. We're cooking. We have to be a little bit more mindful how we do our pathing in this area. I thought I saw a big torch somewhere. Was I correct about that? I am. There is one very close to us. It's all the way over here. So let's go there. We'll activate it. Gonna get 100 stacks. Fire off the ultimate. There's a nerd group that's gonna be popping up. We'll fire that off again. We need one more stack. Fire it off again. Nuke the field. Profit. Okay, so we're at level 3. I want to get the bar maxed out that you see on the right-hand side. That you see it's at 3 almost. I want that ideally at 4 so we can get the maximum amount of reward. But we do have a timer, because this is actually a timed endgame activity. It's one of those ones I don't generally like. And I've said it before. I've said it a couple times on stream. I just don't like Undercity Run. Because I don't feel like you get anything really of value unless you have like a whole bunch of mythic armaments, which I don't have at the moment. Because I used quite a bit of them to be able to get some of the mythics I'm using for this particular build. For those of you who don't know, mythics are purple gear, which are considered the best gear in the game. They are the strongest, and they basically take your builds to basically the next level so that you're able to do hard tournament level content like I'm doing right now. I could probably do tournament 10 easily now, just based on the glyph placement and stuff. So I'm thinking maybe potentially what we do once I finish this war plan rotation, if we still have time, I'm going to be streaming for about 2 hours today, is we bump it up a little bit more and test it out for science to see how much more we can climb. Alright, nice. We can fight the boss now, because we got the max bar leveled up. Okay, cool. Let's go through the Undercity portal, and we'll fight a boss. This always, to me, look at the map here, the mini-map. Dreadknights. Now, I'm not trying to make a lewd joke or something, but doesn't this mini-map look like a certain anatomy, based on the way it's shaped? Blizzard, did you put a PP joke in here? It kind of looks like it, you know? I'm getting my mind out of the gutter. Again, you know, my mind's not in the gutter. It's too weird looking when you go into it, Dreadknights. Okay. We didn't get a mythic. I wasn't expecting a mythic. I mean, we didn't even get an ancestral charm. We did get an ancestral hand axe, but I have no purpose for that. Cry, cry, cry. Yesterday in the Gorilla stream, we got another mythic to drop, which was such a shame because I had to private the VOD because it was a little bit scuffy-wuffy. We ran into scuff yesterday. I don't know why. Kind of weird like that, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes. I think it was like a way I had set up OBS. OBS sometimes can be like kind of dumb. Anybody who's been a streamer, you know, sometimes OBS like has a mind of its own. Okay, let's teleport over here. 100 stacks, fire it off. Alright, yeah. Let's get another 100 stacks if I can. Am I just fighting a boss here? Yeah, Varshan. Oh, this is easy. We'll delete Varshan pretty quickly. In theory. Watch him. We gotta watch out for the poison now, because he does do poison. See if I can set up a couple of these. Come on, Varshan, I summon thee! Have at thee. Alright, gotta get this to 100. Fire away. I did a lot of damage, but not enough. One more should kill him. Usually takes 2. Let's go! He was easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. The great and powerful Dreadscape Gaming will triumph over all. Oh, Belial's gonna challenge us. Alright, square up. Didn't you see what I did to Varshan? You're next, Belial. The Lord of Lies. Have at thee! Oh, why are you trying to poison me, bro? Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not gonna like what happens to you, see? I did win! Last I checked, we just won against 2 Varshan. We put you in your place. Alright, let's pick up some of this loot. The good thing about the Portrayer Husk is that I can, like, specifically target stuff. Man, look at all this loot that we got. And the funny thing about it is, like, I'm just gonna salvage the majority of these uniques at this point because I don't need them. I have so many of them. But there's probably somebody out there that's watching either on VOD or that will watch on stream and be, like, crying because they need some of these things to drop in their campaign. And they're just dropping like candy for me. Ideally, only I want purple loot at the moment. I should put a loot filter on. I really should at this point, because they have, like, loot filters that you can use in Diablo IV. I never use it. I should, because then I could just, like, target whites and ancestrals and just ignore everything else. Honestly, we're gonna just drop whatever at this point. It doesn't matter. And just pick up the more of these things. There's a lair key there. I want it. I need it. I deserve it after all that, right? Alright. Let's go back to Tyrael. We'll collect our war plans. I think we'll do Torment 10. I'll bump it up a difficulty level and see if we can handle it now with, like, the upgrade on the glyphs. Because it feels like we've made good enough incremental power climbs that we should be fine to do Torment 10. The only question will be if we have enough survivability. Survivability in terms of, like, HP, physical resistances, stuff of that nature. Okay. We don't need any of this stuff. Someone out there that plays Dreadclaws would really like this, even though you want an ancestral version. For a later game. What is this? Not an upgrade. Not an upgrade. I literally have so many copies of all this stuff. So unless it's like an ancestral version of it that I don't already have, it's just like being junked at this point. Which is crazy. But like once you get up into these higher torment levels, uniques drop like candy. Which is not a bad thing, because you spend so much time not getting good drops through, like, the very early of the story campaign, as well as, like, very early in the Lord of Hatred expansion. Because you don't start seeing, like, even rares drop until you get to, like, level 70, technically. Before then, it's just, like, a bunch of blues and yellows. Which have their purposes, too, because you can always put them into the Heroic Cube. These guys with me, or you have a little bit of an issue there? Let me see. No, these guys are with me. It's my phone that's kind of spazzing out. Okay. It's fine. I saw like a buffering icon. If you're having a problem on mobile, refresh. I think we're good. Alright. Nice, nice, nice. What are we gonna do? This keeps saying I have a seasonal event thing that I can claim, but I don't see it anywhere. I wonder. Dreadknights, I wonder. Okay, let's do Torment 10, because I think we're a little too powerful at this point. I have all the way up to 11 unlocked, but 11 we're not comfortably able to do that content just yet. The goal is to get to 12 eventually. I don't think today, because I'm not going to stream too much longer. So I have, like, get back to working on projects. And I have to also get back to a couple of correspondence that I need to do. So we're doing a pit run. Do a Duriel run. Oh, man. I'll take the Infernal Hordes over that. We'll do a Nightmare Dungeon, and we'll do a pit run. I don't know if we'll be able to do all of these on stream, but we'll do as much of these as possible. Depends how fast I go. I'll do another, like, Torment. Oh, wait, we didn't have to do that. It's just going to teleport me in front of the pit area. We basically went to the same area. Alright, I'll do Torment 9 one more time. In the pit, just for speed efficiency. It's kind of important to do that. The Barbarian carries an entire arsenal. I'm actually planning to go back to do the Barbarian. That's like my next objective. Also going back and doing Paladin. I have to play for the story campaign again, apparently, on Eternal Realm, which I mean, I already played for the story once in seasonal. I would hope I didn't have to do an internal. That's hopefully something that they fix in the future for future update. Yeah, I think we're so powerful at this point. Like, look how quickly we're deleting Torment 9 enemies. But I think, yeah, definitely, maybe even ideally we could do Torment 11. We might have got enough power to do that. I don't want to push it just yet. I got caught to the wall. Alright. Let's go up this way. Pretty sure we can push 11. So that's what the whole point of the stream was, just upgrading glyphs, because at those glyphs being, like, as high up as possible, you don't get the, like, extra little damage that you need. Survivability is the key, too. Getting caught on everything here. Alright, let's push this way. So tomorrow, the plan is I'm going to be playing Monster Hunter Wild, so if you're a fan of Monster Hunter in particular, I'm going to be having a Playing with Viewers session. I always like to do it, basically jumping in, helping viewers with whatever quest they need help done with. Also be jumping into SOS quests, because I always like whenever I play Monster Hunter Wilds, because I'm like an old school Monster Hunter player. I play it since the days of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. What I like to do is I always like to jump into lobbies and help people with their stuff, you know. Lower levels even, you know, pay it forward. Because, you know, Monster Hunter is such a fun game. Just like Diablo 4. Like, I do want to do, like, playing with your sessions in Diablo 4 in the future. The thing is, like, once I'm doing the seasonal journey climbing them, it's really just trying to go for fast farming. It's what these sessions in particular are always about, fast farming. Which is why I don't... And, you know, I don't like to ever be mean necessarily to viewers on stream, because I know, like, people come in and they're very excited sometimes, enthusiastic, or like, can I play with you? And I get that, I get that. But there's also, like, a little bit of a... What's the best way to put it? You know, there's a little bit of stream etiquette that goes both ways, right? Like, hey, I've watched many people's streams, and I know that, you know, when a stream is going on, it's about, you know, the streamer's journey and the oops, I died there. That's what I get for talking about things that maybe I should be. I understand it's like it's the streamer's journey, unless the streamer itself has like an open lobby and is wants like to play with viewers. Usually, it's probably in most people's benefit to let the streamer do them. You know, it's a little bit of common courtesy, right? You know, at least I think so. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but you know, and the reason I address it too is because like I've had. The last couple weeks, a lot of very enthusiastic Dreadknights that come in, you know, want to play, and I appreciate that. I'm always flattered that people want a game with Dread, but you know, if it's one of those sessions where I'm just kind of like grinding and doing my thing, where I'm like collabing with somebody, or you know, I'm just kind of doing a specific goal, like today was like glyph farming in particular, like, you know, just sometimes I want to not like play. And that's why, you know, I'm not the only one that does this. Every other streamer does it, particularly VTubers. We have sessions for playing with viewers, you know? Like, I have a Discord that is about to open once I do some unofficial announcements, and you can, you know, join the Discord, and you can, like, you know, I'll have, like, some playing sessions, community things, and stuff like that, you know? I'm down to play with viewers. I just don't always want to play with viewers on stream when I'm trying to do, like, a specific goal. And a lot of people know, like, when it comes to Dread, good old Dread, like, basically speedruns for content, right? So, and I've mentioned this before, a lot of the time when you see me playing a game on stream, that is basically because I don't have a lot of time personally in IRL to play, like, a lot of games and to grind, like, in Diablo 4 particularly. Like, I had some basic time off when the game, like, got released because I had planned my schedule and stuff that way, so that I would have, like, a significant portion of time off so I could, like, kind of dedicate and grind and prepare. But you know, now it's like with everything that I'm doing project-wise and both VTuber-wise, and you know, there's stuff going on personally, not bad things, that are just, you know, a lot of life changes and stuff that need a lot of my attention, right? That I don't have like the time to play this game like I used to. So like whenever I stream a game, usually it's because that's the time that I have to play games for the day. So I have to use that time that I have as efficient as possible. So that's why I don't always, you know, play with viewers on stream, because there's sometimes where I just got to get like an objective. And if you're a content creator, or you have a fellow content creator friend, or your, you know, favorite Oshi whatsoever, you know the drill. Like, there's only certain times. Like, if you've ever watched people play Tomodachi Life, you know that they probably, if they're playing Tomodachi Life, that's like the only time they have to play Tomodachi Life. right? So they're like preparing and, you know, getting their content all set up. Now, if there were, I don't think you can play Tomodachi Life to my recollection with other people, but I'm just using it as an example, right? You know, they want to prep and stuff, so you don't want to deviate from what the streamer's trying to accomplish. I guess that's the point. But yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is that I do have playing with viewer sessions, and I do them. So tomorrow, Thursday in particular, is the one for Monster Hunter Wilds. Maybe next week, I'm thinking about doing one for Repo, where I'll have like people who are interested in playing Repo. Maybe play with me on stream. I've got to be a little bit more careful with that because, you know, Repo is one of those games where people might say something naughty or dirty, so I'm gonna have to screen people for that and see. You know. But there's playing with viewer sessions. That's the one thing I wanted to talk about because I know it's been a topic. And I don't get me wrong, Dreadknights, I love you all. I do truly love everybody. I truly appreciate the support. There's a lot of amazing things that are going to be happening in the future. Friday announcement is a pretty big announcement that I'm particularly scared about. Because it's going to shape, like, the whole future of the channel and direction of our things, as well as, like, my personal life direction, too. And, like, the thing about it is, like, you know, I love and cherish the support of everybody. Like, without you, the viewers, without you, the people that collab with me from time to time, without, you know, none of that stuff would be possible, you know? But, and I do appreciate that you want a game, but, you know, in order for me to continue to do, like, high-level content, such as, like, what I do today, and other stuff of that nature, Dread can't always play with viewers, you know? That's why I have certain sessions set up for that. Okay, we can probably do even Tournament 11 bosses with ease right now. Technically, I don't want him to burrow right now, because if he burrows, that's going to be a problem. Ideally, we're trying to prevent him from burrowing. Okay. Because if he burrows, that's like a whole other issue. Okay, Torment 10 lair bosses are no problem for us now. That's why we leveled up the glyphs the way we did. Perfect. Did we get a mythic? No, I got tricked. It looked like a purple. It has a different sound, too. I just gaslit myself into thinking we were going to get a mythic. Alright. Next thing. I think we're doing another boss run, maybe, potentially here. You know, but I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I do want to play with viewers on stream. But I want to relegate it, excuse me, to specific days of the week. Did the game just crash? That was weird. Okay, well, that happened. I'm not quite sure what happened. Maybe we went into the area too quickly. Could have been a server hiccup. There are server hiccups in this game. Alright, let's do this. Let's set this up. Nice. Okay, so good. Just fire off here. I'm terrible at this particular endgame activity, because I don't know how you get all the Aethers, and I don't play like a lot of the Infernal Hordes mechanic. So, like, I do a lot of damage, but I don't feel like we get, like, enough Aethers to actually open that box. I'm not quite sure how you get them. I know you have to get them through these things, the masses, but I feel like not a lot of that stuff spawns enough on the map to be able to, like, get the ones required to open the chest at this high of a level. Is the Soul Spire gone? I can't even tell. I can't see anything. Literally, the ground is lava. The floor is the lava confirmed. I think there might be one over that way. I'm not 100% sure of that. Fire those off. Good. Perfect. Well, there are so many enemies that are literally just pushing back. I can't see a hand in front of my face. Literally, Dreadknights. Okay. All we got was like 30 they're not cinders. What are these called? Aetheric masses. Okay, let's do that. Unavoidable damage? I don't know if that's a good idea, though. That's okay. We have, like, Fortify in this build, so we should be okay-ish, in theory. I mean, we just nuked the field anyway, right? Too bad I can't get that Aether over there right now. Okay, nuke. Good job, good job. Nice, nice. High-level content. I mean, this, to probably the naked eye, would look, like, very stressful, but this is freaking fun to me. I love challenging myself whenever possible. Let's go that way. Okay. I'd so want to play, like, Diablo IV with VTubers. I gotta go look for VTubers that play Diablo IV. That's, like, my goal for the next couple weeks, to find a group that's willing to collab in Diablo IV. that are down to try it, even if like they're not like VTubers who have ever thought about playing this game. Maybe I can put people onto Diablo 4 and be like, Diablo 4 is fun. That's a goal of mine, because I'd like to see more VTubers play the game. It's one of my favorite franchises. I've played it ever since like Diablo 2 days. Favorite one is Diablo 3. 4 is starting to grow on me thanks to the Lord of Hatred expansion, though. It's changed so much to make it feel closer to Diablo 3-ish in vibe, which I like. You know. And I did talk about this earlier, that, you know, I understand for some people who prefer Diablo 4 to be like Diablo 2, but Diablo 2 is like such an old... I love Diablo 2, don't get me wrong when I say this, because somebody will try to cancel me for saying this, or clip it out of context and stuff. I love Diablo 2, but Diablo 2, by today's standards, if you were to put those type of mechanics into today's standard ARPG, you would turn away a lot of modern players. You know, I feel like if you want to play Diablo 2 type game, you just play Diablo 2. I don't feel like you try to replicate Diablo 2. And the good thing about Diablo 4 right now, too, is the fact that it's not trying to be exactly free, it's not trying to be exactly 2, it's doing stuff that both games did significantly well. For example, like Diablo 4 has the lair bosses, which boss farming was a thing of Diablo 2. That's all you basically did in endgame. At least, you know, for quite a bit. And then, like, when you think about the pit runs, in particular, and upgrading the glyphs through them, are basically the Diablo 3 endgame mechanic of the Greater Rift system. So I feel like Diablo 4 is like the best hits of everything in terms of the endgame, and it added our stuff that was never available in our endgames too. Like, there's the Helltides, even though technically Helltides I would say is kind of based off the Terror Zones in Diablo 2 Resurrected. So, you know, they kind of took that mechanic from there. But then there's also the Undercity Cross, which is not like anything we've technically seen. Maybe Diablo Immortal, because there was something like that in Diablo Immortal. I guess that you could say a lot of what Diablo 4 does is taking endgame activities from the other Diablo games that were pretty successful, but do their own spin on it too. It's not like a copy and paste job necessarily, which I appreciate that. The only thing like really I would like to see, and again, this is just my own personal want from the game, is I would like to see a little bit of a change for the newer players, right? And for people who are trying to get into it. A little bit of a change, please, Blizzard. I'm not saying that it bars me, but I want to get more people that are new into the game. I would like to see them just kind of tweak the loot from level 1 to 70. So that at least, like, people see a rare drop every once in a while so that they don't feel, like, demotivated. For example, and the reason I say this, Dreadknights, is because I was watching a streamer, a VTuber play it, right? And the VTuber, I think it was like their first time playing Diablo 4, or like trying to get into it, and a lot of the loot that they were seeing for a while was just not significant loot. And, you know, after a while, seeing the same not great loot, if you're a newer player, I'm not saying they drop like candy, right? No, because you gotta earn stuff, right? I agree with that. Alright, hold that thought here, because enemies. But, you know, a little bit of a tweak, where you see the drop rate a little bit more significant. Not where it's dropping like candy, but a little bit of tweak to the numbers. I feel like that's what you kind of got to do to bring in, like, more new, fresh blood. Because I'm watching, I'll tell you, I've been watching old VODs of Diablo 4 VTubers that have been playing, to just see why maybe they stopped playing. I've been watching people who are just getting into it to play it, to see if they're going to stick with it or not. Like, I've been scouted. I'm curious, you know? Because I've been with, like, the Diablo community for so many years. People know, if you look at my popular playlist, what's the popular playlist on here? Diablo free guides. You know, so I always like to see what can be improved upon, and then try to give, like, feedback back that maybe Blizzard will take into hindsight, you know? A lot of people that know me pretty well know that, like, when I did the Diablo free guides, I used to talk a lot about the set armors, and there were certain set armors I said were pretty bad. That needed, like, tweaks to them. In particular, I said, like, Talraja needed always, like, a rework. And they reworked Talraja. I said, like, Tragul needed a rework. And this is back, like, at the height... Oh, hold that thought. There's too much anger over there, and I don't want to die. I mean, we have, like, extra lives that we can spare here. But the thing about it is, like, even with, like, the Diablo free guides, when I was doing and stuff, like, I was passing on feedback to Blizzard, and I was actually happy about that, because, like, Blizzard listened to a lot of my suggestions for Diablo 3. I'm surprised. Like, they changed a whole bunch of armor sets, like, a lot of the ones I said were relatively bad armor sets when I was playing through the pandemic. So I was grinding that game like non-stop back then, because what else were we gonna do? That's a fun fact about me. A lot of people don't know. I started basically in 2019 streaming, but I became a VTuber in 2020 during like the height of the pandemic. And the way I got my like big break, so to speak, was I was playing Diablo IV, making guides and stuff. But I did obviously pass on stuff to Blizzard whenever I can, whether they listen or not. You know, I think they have. I think they've done a very good job at listening to the player base for Diablo IV, from base campaign to now what we have concurrently. And I hats off to them. I think their endgame system is so much better now. Like, I enjoy playing this game. It's there was a time period where I wouldn't enjoy logging into this game because I felt like it was kind of a chore to do. I think we killed everything in one hit there, did we? We did. Tournament 10. I think we could do 11. But I'm not going to kind of push it today, because I still want to upgrade glyphs a little bit more. Can we open anything? Probably not, because this costs 400. Like I said, I'm bad when it comes to the Infernal Horde mechanic. Nothing ancestral there. Cry. Let's open this. At least this will give us materials. Let's go to the next one. I think this is going to be a boss fight, if I recall correctly. And then from there, we'll do whatever else. Is this a nightmare dungeon? Oh, it's a nightmare dungeon. What's the objective of this nightmare dungeon? Can't see. Somebody gave me the dark. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Let's go here. But yeah. Oh, and also, you know, for viewers that are watching, or people who are watching on VOD, if you're interested in getting into Diablo IV, and you don't have anybody else that would be down to play with you or to give advice, I am always more than happy to. And I mean this for everybody. I mean this for whether you're an indie, whether you're a corpo, whether you're just a regular streamer or just a regular player. I am always willing to help people in Diablo 4 to get into it. You know, I'm willing to give advice, I'm willing to give insight, I'm willing to even help people on stream. I'm not going to take this, even though it give me an... should we? We'll do it, we'll do it. I'm going to go into a little bit of overtime, but it's fine, because this will give us extra loot. I'm always down to help people and newcomers to the game, because that's something I think that's kind of important. I'm going to take just whatever here. Dreadknights doesn't really matter too much, because we're getting close to end time. Let's take this too. Alright, let's go through here. This one's kind of similar to the Undersea Cross. I got to build... Oh, hold on, there. Oh, they were camping me. Big time they were camping me. Alright, let's grab this. I don't remember how this mechanic works, to be honest. I think it's similar to Undersea, where you just, like, blow things up. Okay, that ritual is complete. So I gotta go on the next one. How to get there. Touch this. With this build, we might be able to do pretty easily. Because remember when we tried to do this with Dreadclaws last week? It was not the best of experience. Gotta never step here as well. Good. I like it. I need it. I deserve it. We need to get to one of those pillars. I kind of botched the run. There's one over here. Maybe we can get to it close enough, but yeah, something's getting caught. I think we got caught to something random there. What was it? I don't even know. Okay, let's get this. I think the run's over here. You got hit by too many enemies. Fire them all. It's fine. Can't be perfect with everything. You already stress yourself out as a content creator. Alright. I mean, hey, it's a high level. Can we fight the boss here? I would love to grab this. I think we ran out of time to do it. Okay, let's fight the boss. Mini-boss. He's gonna get nuked here. Not bad. Plus we got a rank 5 thing done, which I wasn't expecting. Alright, let's open this. You gave me basura. Basically Spanish for garbage, for those of you who don't know. That's fine, that wasn't like the main point of that run. But yeah, always willing to help people in Diablo 4. And it might be a daunting game, but it's pretty fun when you really get into it and you start like learning how to build and theory craft and then like augmenting and optimizing your gear. So many fun elements to this game. It's very robust. It can be time consuming too though, but you can play this also with like people in groups and it makes like farming a little bit quicker. I mean, I could do pretty well solo, I've done, but like you can play this. So it is a slightly better run. If you can get like people to play it too, you know. It'd be interesting to see more people collab in this. That's like a major goal of mine in year 6. I want to get more people into Diablo 4 so that I can have an excuse to collab with them. Barrier has been dispelled. Okay, so it's over that way. We'll go here. Basically, Nightmare Dungeons, for those of you who might not know, is an endgame activity where you go for the dungeon, have to complete certain objectives. Back in the day, it used to upgrade glyphs. Now, I'm not quite sure what it's exactly supposed to do. I think it just like gives you more experience points and more materials for crafting. I do feel like they do have to rework Nightmare Dungeons a little bit to give like something different in terms of rewards. Because I feel like, I don't want to say there's no purpose to running them, because obviously you get a whole bunch of material. I feel like there should be a little bit more to it. Before you used to upgrade glyphs, but they took that and put it in the pit. Like, something else. Like, maybe higher chance... I don't think you could do, like, a higher chance of mythics, because you already have lair bosses for that. But if... something, you know? Something different. Maybe something unique, right? Maybe a higher chance of getting, like, good charms to drop from Nightmare Dungeons, or maybe get, like, better attunement materials for the Undercity run from Nightmare Dungeons. Something very small and incremental. Something that'll have like a little bit of a point to running these, I guess, right? Because right now it's still kind of one of those questions of, well, why do we run it? I gotta kill 2 bandits, right? 2 bandit captains. Let's go this way. Go. I see one. It's the red skull icon there. Alright, let's build this up. Far away. Just something, a little something to make it a little bit more purpose to this. Where I get stuck there. I'm not quite even sure why I got stuck to the rock there, but we'll just deal with it. Oh no! I wasn't expecting that. Why do we get killed? I think there's too many maybe missiles going off there. It's fine. It's fine. It ruined the run a little. It did ruin the run. It did, though, make me feel a little disoriented. Okay, so I think we're going back this way, because we have one more captain I have to deal with. Let's rebuild the charges up. Quick second. Remember, it's Torment 10 difficulty, so this is not necessarily easy content, despite the fact that at times I might be. Oh, you're Poison Apex! That's why. That's why I'm having a problem. I don't have 5 poison resistance at the moment. Because I needed different type of resistance for this build. So that's what was happening. So we're going to stay away from the poison enemies as much as possible. It's your treasure, you can keep your treasure. I already have the greatest treasure that anybody could possibly have. Alright. Let's fire this off. Good. There's this guy here. It's the captain, it's not an guy. We're gonna give him a taste of his own medicine. Okay, great. Let's go fight the boss. Because this is a boss fight. Being a little bit laggy, too. Gonna be ending soon because of that, anyway. Alright. Outlaw Sharpshooter. Build up 100 stacks. Oh, we're gonna go kaboom. Okay, nice. Nice. Let's open these chests and see if we get anything from them. Nothing necessarily good. Oh, attunement thing. Let me check something in a minute if you guys don't mind. Oh, we're running into stream issues, huh? I did not know that. I was streaming all this time, nobody told me. Are we having, like, quality issue there? Alright, well, in that case, let me wait a second here so you all catch up. I appreciate some of you stuck there and then tell me that. I think we're probably gonna end then. And I'll do the rest of this now. Off stream. Let me check. I'm checking stream quality a second to see. I think we ran into a little bit of a hiccup. If it passes, I don't know. YouTube's on sometimes. Be trolling small streamers. Like for me, OBS says it's fine. But I'm looking over. Are you glitchy? Let me see. You look fine on my end. But I don't want to really take the chance here. I'll be right back up a second. Okay. Oop. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I noticed there was a little bit of scuff, so I restarted the internet. I'm gonna finish this out anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I just don't. I noticed that. Sometimes, chat, if you see it, please tell me, because I don't know. My inventory is full. I could drop something random, right? Let's drop that. Alright, let's see here. Oh, another unique charm. There's a whole bunch of stuff we need here. Alright, let's get rid of a duplicate. More... that. Pick this up. It's actually a pretty good run. We got a flicker step charm. That's not good for this, but it might be for a different build. Potentially here. Let me double check here. Okay, we're good. Alright, our thing that we can do... Is there anything else I have to pick up here? Gloves are ancestral. I really don't need any of this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're just going to push on to the endgame activity. And this will be probably the last thing that we do on stream. Because I do have a meeting I have to attend. On top of a meeting, I do have some stuff I have to work on. I also have to kind of... I know this is going to sound silly to people in chat, but I have to grind in VR chat. Because I want to upload my VTuber model into VR chat. So... Alright, let's go in the pit. Alright, let's go. Sorry about that. Last run. Let's cast these. Build them up. Fire off. Good charm. Okay, cool. Continue this. Fire them off. Cool. This is the last run anyway. Does anybody remember? Did I pick like a level 9 or did I do a level 11? I don't know. Far away. Good. Okay, good. Do this. Alright, let's go up this way. Far away. Nice. Are these guys still with me? I can't really tell. I'm gonna be ending anyway shortly because I think YouTube's having an issue now. Which is kind of unfortunate. You know, it'd be like that sometimes. Currently, YouTube is like, no, you've been streaming for 2 hours. It's fine. It's far away. Good amount of that time down there. Build up here. Far away. That rotation was bad. It's got a little bit distracted there. It's fine. Far off. Boom. Nice. Far off. Cool. Do it here. Let's continue. Far away. Nice. Far it off again. Cool. Nice. Pop that. Alright. Where are we going from here? We're going up this way, northward. Alright, cool. Far away. Nice. Yeah, we're definitely a little bit laggy, I can tell. Just in the game, too. So, we're almost done anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Fire. Good. Yeah, we're definitely experiencing that lag spike. Far away here. Good. Let's pick up this way. Alright, good. Far away again. Nice. Perfect. Far away. Gonna go up northward here. Good. Check it up again. Far away. Almost there. Okay. Time to go, Dreadknights. We're at the very stretch of this. I'm so sorry about the scuff towards the end. My apologies. I should have probably ended, but I wanted to finish the endgame activity early. Alright. Far away. Gotta love Spectrum Internet. We're one of the worst companies, I kid you not. Alright. It's far away. Good. Almost done. Far away. Good. Let's keep positioning here. Move up that way. It's fine. Let's go this way, and we should be good. Let's take them out now. Let's go. Fire off. Let's take care of this enemy. It's about to die. And we're good. Alright. I gotta see where these guys are on stream. Let's upgrade the glyph here in a second. Almost there. Good. Far away. Alright, upgrade. We want... Not Eliminator, right? No. Headhunter, no. Not Empowered. Okay, good. Alright, we got that 62. Next up will be those, but I will not be doing that on stream because I know that stream quality started to take a little bit of a dip towards the end, which I apologize for. The Dreadknights, you know. With that being said, though, that is all the time that I have for today's stream, because I don't want to really risk it anymore. Thank you to everybody that hung out. Thank you to everybody that lurked. Thank you, VOD watchers, for watching. Tomorrow I will be playing Monster Hunter Wilds with viewers. Same start time, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you liked this stream, if you liked this VOD that you're watching, perhaps, definitely make sure to like the video. Definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel in case you're not already subscribed to the channel. All those things do help greatly with the algorithm and help the channel grow. Yeah, thanks everybody. I do greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, I appreciate you. Till next time. Bye.